Hi friends, in this video I am going to discuss about the concept of fading. So what is meant by fading? Fading means it means a rapid fluctuation of the amplitude, phase or multipath delay of a radio signal over a short period of time or a short travel distance. Fading can be otherwise called as the small scale fading. So this might be so served that large scale radio propagation loss effects might be ignored. So fading is caused by interference between the two or more versions of the transmitted signal which arrives at the receiver at slight difference in the time. So these waves are called as the multipath wave, which is communicating in an open space environment. It combines the receiver antenna to get a resultant signal which varies widely in the amplitude, phase, depending upon the distribution of the intensity of the signal and the relative propagation time of the wave and the bandwidth of the transmitted signal. So here the multipath fading effects causes due to the rapid changes in the signal strength. Next when it occurs due to the random frequency modulation due to the concept of Doppler shift on different multipath signals. And third one is about the time dispersion or the echoes which is caused in the multipath propagations. So here there are four factors are influencing the small scale fading. So first factor is about multipath propagation. Okay, fine. So what is meant by multipath propagation? In an open environment, whenever we are transmitting a signal in that medium, automatically the presence of reflecting objects occurs and scatters in the channels, which creates a constantly changing environment which dissipates the signal power in terms of amplitude, phase and the time. So these effects are results in multiple version of the transmitted signal which arrives at the receiver part which is displayed with respect to one another in terms of time and the spatial orientations. The random phase and amplitude of the multipath component causes the fluctuation in signal strength and thereby including the small scale fading, signal distortion or both. Multipath propagation often lengthens the time required for the baseband propagation of the signal to reach the receiver, which may cause the signal shimmering due to the intersymbol interference. And the next factor is about the speed of the mobile. The relative motion between a base station and the mobile, which may result in the variation of the frequency modulation due to the concept of Doppler spread, which occurs in the multipath component. So here Doppler shift may be a positive or a negative. It mainly depends only on the mobile receiver and their movement according to their nearby base stations. And third one is about speed of the surrounding objects. So here the objects which are in their surroundings, which is in and around the radio channels, which are in the movement around the base stations, which may induce a time varying concept with the help of the Doppler shift. If the surrounding objects moves with a greater rate than the mobile, then this effect dominates the small scale fading. And the fourth one is about the transmission bandwidth of the signal. If the transmitter radio signal bandwidth is greater than the bandwidth of the multipath channel, the received signal will be get distorted, but the strength of the received signal will not fade over that local area. The bandwidth of the channel can be quantified by the help of concept coherent bandwidth, which is related to a specific multipath structure of the channel. And here are the classifications of the small scale fading. Based upon the two things, we are classifying the small scale fading. One thing is about multipath delay spread and another one is based upon the Doppler spread. Based on that multipath, the small scale can be divided into two types. One is flat fading and another one is frequency selective fading. In flat fading concept, the bandwidth of the transmitting signal should be less than the bandwidth of the channel. And the second one is the delay spread should be less than the symbol period. Comparative to the frequency selective is inverse of flat fading. The bandwidth of the signal should be greater than the bandwidth of the channel, and the Doppler spread should be greater than the symbol period. And the next classification is based upon the Doppler spread. So here it is classified into two things. One is fast and slow. Fast fading means it has a high Doppler spread and coherent time should be less than the symbol period, and the channel variation should be faster than the base band signal variation. So slow fading is vice versa of the flat fading. So this is about the fading concept. Initially we have to know what is meant by fading and how the fading occurs, what are the factors influencing those fading concepts, and what is the classification of that fading based upon multipath and also the Doppler spread. So that's all about the fading concept. Thank you all.